Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and today I'm joined by three local nonprofits: Loaves and Fishes Community Services, the Rotary Club of Naperville, and Metropolitan Asian Family Services. You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now from Loaves and Fishes Community Services is their president, Mike Havala. Mike, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much, Jane. We really appreciate getting the opportunity here to talk about some really wonderful new things that we have going on at Loaves and Fishes.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear that. Let's just start right out with a little bit about what you're seeing across the community in terms of the need right now for your services.
Sure, absolutely. So before COVID hit, what we saw, or what we're seeing, is that about 1 in 5 people in our community are living either under the poverty line or in a low-income situation. And when you're in that situation, you're cutting corners. Food is one of the most frequent areas where people cut corners, which means they're either skipping meals, or if they are buying food, it's food that's inexpensive and probably unhealthy for them. So a significant need in our community. Again, about 1 in 5 people in DuPage County, Will County, and surrounding counties. When COVID hit, of course, that need grew substantially and suddenly overnight when we shut down back in March of last year. And as an example, before COVID, we might see 20 or so new families a week sign up for services. So that's new families. When COVID hit, that 20 grew to about 200 new families each and every week needing assistance. And so obviously with what's gone on in the pandemic, the need has grown substantially over what was already a big base.
Yeah, that's and unfortunately, I'm sure we're not going to be seeing the end of that anytime soon, right?
Sure.
Mike, in 2019, you and I talked about this. You started a major strategic planning initiative, and a big part of that was the acquisition or building of a new building. So, we're right there now. So tell us a little bit more about that, if you would.
Yeah, so as part of our strategic plan, one of the big things we wanted to do is take another look at our whole model for distributing food and services to our clients. And so we did a lot of analysis and a lot of research. We engaged a group, the University of Chicago, Booth Alumni Nonprofit Consultants. They did a lot of research and analysis for us as well. And together we concluded that we needed to go to a hub and spoke model. And that hub and spoke model would really change the way of how we provide food and services to our clients. Another big part of our strategic plan was making sure we could provide healthier food to our clients, because it's not just more food that they need, but it's healthier food that's really critical to their well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, it's often frustrating because it feels like the healthier choices are a little more expensive. But when you look at the outcome of not having healthy food and not making those good choices in terms of what you put into your body, you either pay up front or you pay on the back end, right? I mean, unfortunately,
Absolutely.
That's the way it is. Mike, you mentioned something, the hub and spoke model. Can you explain to us a little bit more what that is?
Sure, absolutely. So now with the purchase of this new building that we announced a little earlier this week, that building will serve as our hub. And in the hub and spoke model, the hub will serve to receive the goods that we get, in our case, food. We can process it, store it, we can fulfill orders from there. And so it's really a warehouse distribution fulfillment center as the hub, as the center point. Okay. And then that will feed or distribute product out to all of our spokes. And for example, our grocery market at our Naperville facility will be one of the spokes. Our Bolingbrook satellite will be one of our spokes. Our home deliveries and mobile pantries, those are all spokes. And through the hub and spoke model, the spokes can be very fluid and can be very flexible. And that whole model creates a system that's much more scalable, it's much more efficient, it's a lower cost to serve, it's more expansive, we can serve more people. And so it accomplishes really a lot of the things that we wanted to accomplish in our strategic plan about serving more people better food in a more efficient way.
Yeah, and Mike, remind us, where is that hub now located?
So the hub is located about 1.3 miles from our existing facility in Naperville, and it's just across on the other side of Route 59, so it's in Aurora.
Okay.
And so it's very close to our current facility located in Aurora.
Okay, no, that's wonderful. And I know, certainly you and I have spoken about, the way that you've had to be so nimble with the pandemic in terms of, things like your mobile pantry and just kind of, you were going to test in Bolingbrook and you launched because you needed to. So, that certainly makes a lot of sense as you talk about it. And you also talked about being able to serve more people. Say a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so through the hub, we will be able to serve more people from a couple perspectives. Number one, we have a lot more space now. And by changing our model, so we call it an omni-channel distribution model. So now clients will be able to shop in our market. They'll be able to order the groceries online, and that'll be fulfilled at our distribution center, our hub. And they can also pick up pre-packed groceries curbside, which will also happen at our hub as well. So now our clients, not only will they have choice in the food they get, but they'll also have choice in how they get that food and when they get that food. So it's a much better way to increase access to the food and services that people need by doing what we're doing.
Yeah, that's terrific. I mean, it certainly makes you, it really does kind of put more of the control in the hands of your clients that need the food, right? So, Mike, how can the community support this initiative? Because obviously, it comes with a big price tag and a lot of work and a lot of energy, and I know you've been pushing hard on it. How can the community help?
Sure. Well, a project like this is always built by the community for the community. And so we've initiated a capital campaign, of course, to help us fund the $3.1 million that the facility will cost. And so you can go on our website, and I know you'll refer to that later on. And that website, our website will address how you can help. An example would be we have building blocks that people can buy, if you will, or donate to, and they get name recognition on our wall of honor, if you will, in our building. There are naming opportunities for rooms in the building, areas in the building, or the whole building itself. That information, again, is all in our website. So certainly our capital campaign is really important for us to be able to make this investment in the community. And of course, volunteering people, your time is always a helpful thing to do. Most of the work at Loaves and Fishes is done by volunteers, and we have a great group of volunteers. And so that's always another helpful thing that people can do.
Yeah, well, that's certainly, you've got a very passionate group of volunteers, and we wish you the best of luck, Mike, with the capital campaign. We're excited to see, it's exciting to see the strategic plan playing out, the purchase of the building, and you being able to pivot to be able to address the needs that we have for food insecurity in this community and beyond. So thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it always.
Well, and thank you very much. We really appreciate all that you do for our community as well. And we appreciate the opportunity to get our message out to people in the community so they know what we're doing. So thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. And if you're interested in learning more about Loaves and Fishes and their new Hub and Spoke initiative and their new building and their capital campaign, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay with us. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.
For more than 150 years, you've believed in Busey. Today, more than ever, we believe in you. To our healthcare workers, first responders, and local businesses, you're central to the communities we're proud to call home. Busey's grateful to partner with you and your families through life's ups and downs, today and for generations to come. Because as neighbors helping neighbors, we're in this together. Busey, grateful to serve the communities we call home.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now is Alma Jones. She's the president of the Rotary Club of Naperville. Welcome to the show, Alma.
Jane, thank you for having me. I'm really, really pleased to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we're always happy to have our friends from Rotary, and we'll start right out by just reminding the viewers, what's your mission?
The mission that Rotary is known for most frequently is the phrase service above self. And that is really, that really embodies the mission in general, both locally and globally. Locally, we engage in community service to help our partners in the community and the surrounding area. Globally, in many countries throughout the world, we do the same type of service, much more involved, but local and global service really is the mission of Rotary.
So, Alma, as you talk about that service above self, give me an example of kind of what you mean when you say service above self. Like, how do you tangibilize that these days?
Well, locally, we have made a commitment to have at least one monthly hands-on service project every month. It helps us engage our members and bring them together, and we really feel like it brings to light what service above self really means in the community. Some of the examples of that would be ringing bells for the Salvation Army, cleaning up the gardens at St. Patrick's residence, blood drives that we assist the Red Cross with, installation of smoke detectors, hands-on projects similar to those. Globally, we've funded medical equipment to Honduras. We have funded life-saving pediatric open-heart surgeries in India, provided clean water in India, built schools in Honduras. Locally, we provide over $300,000 annually of grants to nonprofit organizations, as well as high school scholarship opportunities. The club over the last 20 years has given $2.2 million to humanitarian programs.
That's incredible. I mean, that's a lot of money and a lot of very varied projects that you're engaged with. And I love the fact that you talk about being very hands-on. I think that's that brings people together. It's that service above self, but it does bring people together and build those bonds. Talk a little bit, if you would, Alma, about the history of the Rotary Club.
Yes, Rotary was founded in 1905 in Chicago by Paul Harris. And his initiative was simply to gather a group of business people together of diverse backgrounds, form lifelong friendships. He did that, but a few years later, the humanitarian service part of Rotary came into play. And so from that time, and in 1905, members have had a long track record of addressing challenges in their communities. Today, there are 35,000 Rotary clubs throughout the world, 1.2 million members, and in 200 countries. Locally, our history is rather rich in that the Rotary Club of Naperville was founded 80 years ago this year in 2021. So from 15 members in our founding 80 years ago to 115 members today, we are really pleased to mark this anniversary this year.
Yeah, that's a long and very rich history. And I think, you talk a little bit about those friendships, which is certainly something I've noticed, particularly on a local level. You see a lot of that. What's the accomplishment you're most proud of?
There's a recent accomplishment that we're very proud of. The Jazz Quilt was a fundraiser just accomplished in November. And we were able to provide $70,000 of funding, immediate need, to the organizations that support mental health awareness and domestic violence abuse. And so we were very pleased at that. And another installation is Rotary Harmony Park. In 2018, we installed as a gift to the community, along with a partnership with Century Walk, we installed the outdoor musical instruments along the Riverwalk. And we like to say it's a place where there are no wrong notes.
I love that. Well, and interesting that both of those projects have some music there, Alma, so I love that. Talk a little bit about your plans for 2021. I know it's probably not going to be a similar year to 2020, but we're not going to be back to normal. So what are your plans for 2021?
We are focused on continuing the service the service area that we talked about, the hands-on service monthly. We are proud to be bringing an international service summit May 1st to the community. It will all be virtual. It's going to be a really exciting opportunity. We are celebrating, of course, as I mentioned, our 80th anniversary, which will be in March upcoming. And we are focusing on continuing to engage members in the community that would like to know more about Rotary, to learn how they can become members of our club. We really are focused on active, hands-on service, and we want members that are interested in that to join us.
That's wonderful. And Alma, what would they do? How would somebody, if they saw this, they thought, gosh, that aligns with kind of what I want to be doing with my life? How do they become a member?
They can go to our website, and there is an area where they can seek more information there and can contact us. We'll be in contact with them, and anyone is invited to join us at our weekly Zoom meetings, Thursdays at 12:15. Anyone is invited to join, and we welcome that.
That's wonderful. Alma, thank you so much for coming by. We so appreciate always hearing about the good work that your club is doing, and always so welcoming. So thank you for coming by.
Jane, thank you for having me. We really appreciate that and appreciate all that NCTV does in the community.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And to our viewers, to find out more about the Rotary Club of Naperville, please go and visit their website. We're going to be right back after a few short messages. Stay with us.
For more than 150 years, you've believed in Busey. Today, more than ever, we believe in you. To our healthcare workers, first responders, and local businesses, you're central to the communities we're proud to call home. Busey's grateful to partner with you and your families through life's ups and downs, today and for generations to come. Because as neighbors helping neighbors, we're in this together. Busey, grateful to serve the communities we call home.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now from Metropolitan Asian Family Services is Roshita Pandey. Welcome to the show, Roshita.
Thank you so much, Jane, for having me today.
I'm super happy to talk to you. And we'll start right out. Metropolitan Asian Family Services, or MAFS, right? Give us your mission.
So Metropolitan Asian Family Services is actually one of the oldest and the largest nonprofit organizations that's been working in Chicagoland since 1993. So it's been like over 28 years, serving the immigrant community from, South Asian, Middle Eastern, and Eastern European countries. And our mission really is to, educate, counsel, and empower these immigrants, so that they become productive residents of this country, instead of becoming a liability on the system. And to achieve this mission, we really have a very comprehensive range of programs and services that we provide them. And these are really designed to make them not just economically stronger, but also socially, emotionally, psychologically stronger, so that they can adapt better to the life in the States here. And we, in turn, are able to cultivate a very, I would say, inclusive immigrant community.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that. And now, Roshita, where are the geographic areas that you service? Because you talked about Chicagoland. I know you've got an area right here, a facility in Naperville. Where do you service?
So we are headquartered in Roselle, but we have 11 locations throughout Chicagoland covering all 7 counties, DuPage, Will, Kane, Kendall, Lake, McHenry, and Cook. We have centers, 2 very thriving centers right here in Naperville. Those are one of our biggest centers. And I just want to say that those centers offer all the programs and services that we have under our banner for the benefit of the Naperville residents. Then we have offices in Orland Park, Carroll Stream, Elgin, Roselle, Schaumburg, Niles, Chicago, and Vernon Hills. So it pretty much covers, the whole of Chicagoland, and we're able to reach out to so many people across.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big geography, but I know, I've been to your centers here in Naperville, and they certainly are thriving. That is true. You mentioned programs and services, so let's dive into that. What are some of the most important services that you provide?
So, before talking about the programs, I just want to quickly say that we have 3 organizations like sister concerns that completely work in tandem to achieve the mission, and these programs fall under them. So under MAFS, we have welfare programs which are aimed towards, strengthening financially weaker families, and programs such as nutrition, health, congregate meal programs, public benefit programs, all of that. Then we have UMAS, which is Universal Metro Asian Services. Under that, we have adult daycare centers and home care services. And then we have the third wing, which is the Metro Home Health organization, which basically provides medical services for people in their homes. So pretty much the programs are divided like that. And so let's begin with the welfare programs. One of our most important programs is the nutrition program, the congregate meal programs, where we cook fresh, ethnic, tasty Indian meals every day in our kitchens, and we provide them to our seniors, and it really serves dual purpose because they get healthy meals, because they can't eat frozen Western meals, and they also get to socialize with, people that takes care of their isolation. Another program that we have, and which is very important to financially strengthen the community, is the public benefits program, under which we help, weaker families to access benefits like, Medicare, Medicaid, cash assistance, food stamps, Social Security, all of it, which directly gives them economic security or, helps them save cost, which strengthens their financial position. So that is another program. Then we have adult literacy program, wherein, and it's a beautiful program because we have 50 seniors, trying to learn, speak and write basic English. It's absolutely so cute to watch them learn, trying to acquire language skills at this age, and they're doing it very well. So that's one of our very strong programs. Then we have immigration assistance program, where we help the community file for all sorts of immigration applications, naturalization, green cards, visas, passport renewals, all of that. Because, they face so much of barriers, it's important to assist them so that they can strengthen their immigration status, right? So that is another welfare program. And then we have a program called Memory Cafe, which is for patients of dementia and, cognitive problems. And that, again, is a very, very special program because they can come with their caregivers, have a nice time. We play memory games, we have song and dance, and it really helps increase their memory power, even if by a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful atmosphere that's created, and the caregivers also feel very motivated in this program because they are with them and they bond with them together. Right. So, yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of programming, a lot of different, that's really a full circle of support and services that you're providing. And so obviously a key question, because you talked about kind of the coming together, is how have you pivoted during the pandemic? I mean, obviously that's had an impact on the way you do business and the services you're providing.
Our first concern was, how do we continue to provide services to our seniors, which is a very, very vulnerable population, and they depend on us on an everyday basis for essential services, especially adult daycare and home care services, right? So, but that's when a brilliant, hardworking, and creative team came together. We came up with creative ideas, and that coupled with the technology, we were able to transition every single program of ours, into remote format, or we were able to deliver it through low contact or no contact method. So, just to give you an example, our nutrition program, we used to happen in a social setting. Overnight, night, we could just change it into a home delivered meal programs. And from the next day, our drivers started home delivering the meals to our seniors. So they did not lose out the meal even for a single day, So that effectiveness, we kind of launched the program. And then likewise, our home care services and home health services are essential services. So they continued as it is, of course, taking all the precautions of masks and PPEs and social distancing, all of it. Then our public benefit programs, through which we reach out to 4,000 people every year, that got transitioned in a remote way. We were still taking phone calls. We were applying for their applications online. We were doing all the follow-ups and, still ensured that they get the benefits during this difficult time, especially benefits like stimulus checks, unemployment benefits, because that is so much on the rise right now, right?
So important to have those economic safety nets in place for your Talk a little bit, just as we wrap up here, you've talked about a lot of things that you've been able to do. How would you sum up the impact on the community of MAFS?
Yeah. So, when we talk about impact, I really want to talk about two aspects. One, impact that the organization itself has created over so many years. And that is, by creating livelihood opportunities and job opportunities for that section of the immigrant population that is not skilled, that is not very academically qualified. So what we typically do, we identify such people, we take them, we train them, we give them skills, and then hire them as cooks, drivers, home care workers, so that, they get a means of livelihood to sustain themselves, and otherwise they would just be a big burden on the system. So that, I think, is a very good impact that we've created over the years, over 30 years. And another very huge impact that we've created is increasing and improving the health of the South Asian community as a whole. And our nutritious meals has to do a lot with it because, it gives them strength, it builds immunity, and overall improves the health of the community, especially seniors, And another program that we have is the health research program, which we are doing with Northwestern University of Medicine, where we've tried to reduce the risk of heart disease and diabetes among South Asian people. So far, you'll be pleased to know that 500 people have been recruited in this study, and they've improved their health over a span of 3 years. So that, I think, is a very big impact again on the community. So yes, health, economic impact, and through our public benefit programs, we have improved the financial conditions of so many families. So, that is also a very, very significant impact that we've created through our programs.
Well, and I think I loved what you said, Roshita, in that, and in all the work that you're doing, it's productive citizenry, it's making sure that people can stand on their own 2 feet, they're not a drain on the system, and that they feel that they have social, they have the support structure that they need to start a new life, if you will, in many, many ways, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming by. I so appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing all the good work that I'm sure you're going to be doing in 2021.
Thank you so much, Jane, for having me today. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity to talk to Naperville residents about our programs and how they can benefit from it.
Absolutely. Thank you. And if you would like to learn more information about Metropolitan Asian Family Services, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. If you would like to learn more about the organizations featured on this episode, please go and visit our website at nctv17.com. And to stay informed about what's happening in our community, sign up to receive our daily news update and like and follow us on Facebook. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise.